What's going on, guys? Isaiah or /Buddy24 here, back with another video here today in Valorant. And in this video, I'll be covering part 2 of the Yoru rework. I say part 2, but it's mainly just a more in-depth look at the various changes to Yoru's abilities. This is planning to launch at the start of Act 2 in Episode 4. And as some of you may know, there is no new agent coming in the next act. So instead, we'll be getting this here Yoru rework, and then also some various map changes, some of which have already been leaked, including some changes to Icebox. But we don't have full confirmation of those map changes just yet. So instead here today, I will just be focusing on the Yoru rework and making a separate video on map changes when we know more information. So without further ado though, let's jump into this Yoru rework. So we're starting off here talking about the fake out ability, which before was Yoru's fake footsteps ability. This was arguably Yoru's weakest ability and was kind of why he just wasn't really played, because his flash is okay, his TP can obviously have some impact, but his fake footsteps just don't really have a lot of impact. Especially if you're against, a mid or higher level player, then no one's going to be getting tricked by a fake footsteps ability. The only real use it has was to activate the, Killjoy turret or the Raise Boombot to trick some other utility. But in terms of tricking other players, not super effective. So we have a rework here to the fake out ability. And as you see with this video here on your screen that you are watching, it now creates a clone of Yoru, kind of similar to the Ayana ability from the Rainbow Six Siege operator. For your allies, the Yoru clone is going to look like a blue sort of outline of Yoru. But for the enemies, it will have a red or, depending on your colorblind settings, a yellow or purple outline. And different to before, as you can see here on the video, when the fake Yoru clone is shot by an enemy player, it will create a Yoru flash. This will not flash your own team, only the enemy players. So it's quite a significant improvement to the ability. It obviously is kind of just a complete rework of it. You can see that here in the video clip that you're watching. When the fake clone is shot, it then turns toward the enemy player that just shot it and then creates a sort of blinding effect. So this is going to definitely take some getting used to. It's still not obviously as compelling as just, the normal agent himself. You can kind of see he just walks in like a straight line, the fake clone. But it's going to take some getting used to for sure. And obviously when you shoot that clone, he creates a pretty long flash effect that can certainly have some impact. And so overall, I think that this is a much stronger sort of version of the fake out ability. And like I said, there are some visibility sort of things with this. He'll show to the allies in blue, and then to the enemies in red. And then when you shoot him, he will create a sort of pop flash, and then will blind the enemy players. So a nice little update there. And I think that should definitely have some more impact and allow all of his kit to be successful. Now let's talk about Yoru's teleport ability, which is Gate Crash. This hasn't received as many significant changes as the Fake Out ability, but basically you need to know that it travels faster, and then you can also create a fake teleport ability. The video update that we have here on the Valorant blog shows that when the fake teleport is activated, it will leave behind this little blue puddle on the ground. So this kind of shows to the enemies or the enemy team that it was a fake teleport. You can see there on the sort of enemy version or the enemy view, the puddle on the ground is yellow and orange, or red and orange, I should say, instead of blue. So that just shows that it was a fake teleport and not a real teleport. It's still going to make the exact same sound, whether it is a real or fake one. And that's kind of the sort of the trick involved. The other team will hear a teleport. They might think that Yoru has teleported behind them, but then if they see that puddle, then they know that it was a fake one and not a real one. They hadn't shown this puddle before, so I think this is their attempt to kind of balance it. If there was no sort of visual indicator, and you have to spend a lot of time clearing everything out behind you to find Yoru, it might have been maybe a bit too strong. At least maybe they found that in their testing. But now it has this fake puddle here on the ground that you will see when a fake teleport is activated, and then the audio cue will still be the same. So it'll be something to get used to, and definitely still in general makes the teleport a lot stronger. And lastly here we have a bunch of changes to Yoru's ult, Dimensional Drift. What you basically need to know about this as you're watching the sort of video clip on your screen is that you are no longer nearsighted when using the ult. And I think this is the biggest sort of improvement to the ability. This just lets you get way more info, and it's going to have the ult just be way, way stronger. It's really now what it is designed to be, which is a sort of entry or info gathering ultimate ability. And as you can see, you can also use all of the other abilities in Yoru's kit during the ultimate. So while you're in that Dimensional Drift, you can use the fake footsteps, you can use the flash, and you can use the teleport ability. You're going to have free reign to do whatever you want within that ultimate. Now, to sort of balance this, there are a couple changes. we have I believe the cost of the ultimate going from 6 points to 7 points. And then also, most importantly, enemies can now hear your footsteps when you're in the ultimate. So before, the ultimate sort of had a sort of restricted visible range, but then you could move completely silently. Now the enemies will hear the footsteps, but then to balance that, you can see way farther, use all of the abilities in Yoru's kit while you're in that dimensional drift. And like I mentioned, it now is just generally better because you can see farther. So that's kind of the sort of goal of reducing, or sort of reworking the ultimate, I should say. They basically want to just have it have more impact in terms of gathering info, still being able to make plays with other abilities, and then also just kind of reducing that visibility restriction so you can see farther. Before, if you're familiar, you weren't able to use like the flash or the fake out ability in the ultimate, but now you can, and now you can obviously just see farther. And in general, this is just a lot stronger of a ability. I believe you can probably still hold shift, like when you're in the ult, to not make noise. So they sort of have balanced it from an audio perspective, but it's still obviously a huge net positive. If you're in the ult, you can see across an entire bomb site. You could then teleport somewhere. Then you could still pull out your flash, come out of your ultimate. There's tons of new opportunities with this ultimate ability. And in general, I think it will make Yoru's kit a lot stronger. And that's going to basically do it for today's State of the Agents video talking about the new Yoru rework. Overall, I think this is a really solid change to Yoru. Changes across the board, I should say. Is he still going to be played in competitive play? Probably not. But will he be viable and ranked? At least probably. He's still not Jet, which is the main problem when it comes to high-level competitive play. But in terms of a ranked agent, I think he's honestly not useless anymore. And I'm really looking forward to giving him a go in some different maps. I think there's definitely some maps like Bind or like Breeze, especially Breeze too, because now that his ult doesn't have a visibility restriction, he may be able to get a little bit more of impact with that in terms of entering and teleporting across the map. So there definitely might be some maps where Yoru can finally have some success. He will not be the worst agent in the game, which is basically the goal of this rework. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Valorant video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Plenty more Valorant content coming here in the very near future as we move into the next episode and the next season. We'll have some gameplay stuff, some tutorials down the road, and some other videos as we have new content for the upcoming map changes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys soon.